Shalom Yashrala, this is your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostle nails, a great millstone that taught us his truth and never will. And salutation, much love for you, Aki, and pushing his truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. All right, I want to, first and foremost, want to kind of address something real quick. Apologize for maybe some of these late uploads. I don't have the internet right now, but Lord's will, we should have it back up today, depending on if the people can get out there or not. But hey, we'll get this uploaded whenever the internet gets back on. But nevertheless, talking with dealing with this here situation we have going on. All right, if you been watching the news, yesterday, you had this shooting that took place out here in Tennessee. All right, now reading this here article, which I'm not sure why they have it like this in this here article, because this article came out after the fact that some of these other articles came out about this here situation, giving us some more information on this. But, and looking at some of this stuff, and I don't think they even mentioned this other situation, which I'll speak on in this here article. But nevertheless, like I was reading through this here article, they said that this woman, all right, the shooter was appeared to be a teen. I don't know if that's just the words they chose to say that she appeared to look like a teen, all right, or she was a teen. From what I was reading, if I'm not mistaken, I think I read an article saying she was about like 28 or something like that. Not that she was like a teen. Either way, I think the school only goes up to 6th grade or whatever. But they said that she might have been a past student or something here at the school, trying to figure out the ties to all these things. And when I first started reading, all this, the news came over, all this, your news apps and everything, all the notifications came through. They kept speaking about this, and we think about when these things happen, some dude went up in there and just, when these Edomite boys went up in there and shot up the school and everything else like that, boom. But then as I heard that it was a woman, I was like, wait, what? And I'm trying to figure out, okay, well, did she, was she a disgruntled employee, like a teacher there? Did she have kids that go there? And I was like, oh, granted, we are dealing with a lot of demons out here, but, we are dealing with a lot of demons and a lot of crazy shit happened. But just think of a parent going up into a school and shooting up the school where you have your kids that go to that school. Just not to say sound far-fetched, because hey, we in Babylon the Great nowadays. All things, the love of many is waxing cold. But nevertheless, hey, doing some more research, come to find out, this person here is a part of the community. All right, let me see. One of these shapeshifters, we'll put it that term, right? They looking one way one day and then looking another way another day. So hey, it's going right back to what it is. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, he went up into this here school and shot up the school, and they wound up killing the guy, right? You know what I'm saying? If you know, you catch what I'm trying to say about this. We don't want to call this out for, they'll say we're speaking about this here community in a derogatory way. Like, no, we just stating the facts. You know what I'm saying? He wound up going into this here school, and he wound up getting shot by the police. And so when they speak about this here scenario, when they talk about this here female suspect was fatally shot by the police, if you catch my drift to what I'm trying to say here, right? And it's just the facts that that's what it was, right? So it says 6 killed in the latest U.S. school shooting, and you already got to have a heavy demon on you to, I can't even use these words, to mutilate what God gave you. We'll put it that way, right? You know what I'm saying? If you would do some types of things like that to yourself, you know what I'm saying, you already got a heavy ass demon on your ass. So hey, this is something different. But hey, the Lord's will is being done, man. All right. So this says, matter of fact, let me pull something up. All right, never mind. I couldn't get it to load up right now anyway. But anyway, so going back into this here article, it says 6 killed in the latest U.S. school shooting. And this is something that we've been like, having happen, here in America. And they just were speaking about that story about or the Mexican president. I was trying to find that article on there where the Mexican president was talking about the hypocrisy of America and everything else like that, and calling them out and everything about how quote unquote dangerous Mexico is over this here scenario of these Americans going over there and wind up getting killed and everything. And they were saying about the hypocrisy of like, wait, Mexico's a lot safer than America. And when you think about it, hey, people will say, oh, but they have the cartels. Well, the cartels would be, akin to what we have going on over here in America with the gangs, right? People, not to say that the gangs don't necessarily kill innocent bystanders or people who don't have nothing to do with the gangs and nothing like that, but the majority of their victims is all gang members. They into that gang like warfare and everything else like that. All right, but a lot of you Americans, the majority of you Americans, like you Edomites and everything else like that, man, Now, you're not in no gang type turf or no territories and things like that. You just living your regular everyday life. You're not, what I'm saying, not in the, how they say, the belly of the beast of Chirac or nothing like that, or out there in Compton or nothing, no shit like that. But guess what? You have, how they talk about, Jake kids, that you might not live to see 25. That was a curse that was on us, right? We used to say, hey, man, I just hope to see 25. Now, as we think about the scriptures, Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7, let me see. I'll pull that up real quick. All right. Oh, matter of fact, I can, well, let me read this first. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Right? Now, let me try to find this real quick. Should be right around here. I'll go south. I can read that one right there. Verse 19. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. All right. And there's another one I want to read. Give me 1 second. Right here. This is 28. Deuteronomy 28 and 28. And Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and with blindness and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy way. And thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore. Actually, that was not what I was looking for. But that's a good one as well, too. But basically going into... hang on 1 second. But nevertheless, we'll just, roughly paraphrase this. But going into this here article, right? Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7, these curses falling, the curses that was put upon us that's going on to them. All right, they was going to be having the astonishment of heart. They was, say at noon, it was at even it would be at noon. All right, just saying, hey, man, just, like Jake used to be in those hoods, man. All right, look, in the middle of the night, it might be scary because his bullets is flying. But then again, also in the daytime, you know what I'm saying, them goons be out. You might get caught in some crossfire. So for any point in time, it was always dangerous for Jake to be roaming around. And, what I'm saying, there's always a possibility of him getting it, just like you see in any of these old gang movies with Boys in the Hood and stuff like that. Also and just real life type scenarios that's going on, man. All right, but now think about this with these Edomite kids, the point I was trying to make before I started going off into something different. But, think about these Edomite kids and the things they got going on nowadays, at these Edomite parents and stuff like this. This is a so-called Christian Presbyterian school. All right, this is not like public education for the regular masses of Jake. Jake massively go to public education schools, right? They don't really go to these private schools or these other types of schools and stuff like that. So, hey, these are these Edomite kids, man. And a lot of these school shootings is pretty predominantly Edomite kids doing this to other Edomite kids. And the Edomites are the ones that's getting, gunned down and all these things. It's not Jake's schools. Think about it, man. The whole narrative will be completely different, right? If these was like the gang culture that you have like in California and stuff like that, if that was going on inside of these schools with kids, let's say Jake was in there gang banging, red versus blue, Crips versus Bloods, and GDs and BDs, gang banging in elementary school and high school, and they killing up each other. Like what they doing in Chirac and in the streets of L.A., right? If they had brought that into the schools, it would be a way different narrative. It wouldn't be, oh, this is sad. We got to stop the gunfight. We got to stop this. We got to stop. No, hell no. They would be coming down on Jake hard. Oh, look at these heathens. Look at these niggas. That's all they be doing. But now, look, all this stuff is happening to these Edomites now. The whole narrative is being changed, man. And like I said, man, you have this here scenario that's going on to where, again, their kids are now fearing going to school and coming back being shot up to where, hey, it used to be, it was Jake kids, man. All right, Jake kids like don't know if they walk into school, they might get shot up by some rival gang members or whatever, man. They got to worry about all these things. But now, hey, it's the little Edomites, little Timmy and them they got to worry about, little Timmy getting his skateboard taken away or him being shunned on Roblox. Don't nobody want to play with him on Fortnite. Now he go to school and go shoot the whole goddamn school up because he was so-called bullied, right? You know what I'm saying? But hey, this is what these Edomites are dealing with right about now, man. These curses are falling upon them, all right? So it says, let's just read this here article. It says, a female suspect or, homeboy Female suspect has been fatally shot by the police in Nashville, Tennessee, after murdering 3 children and 3 adults. At least 6 people were killed in America's latest mass shooting, an incident at a private Christian elementary school in Nashville, Tennessee, that reportedly ended with the suspect being shot by the police on Monday. 3 children and 3 adult staff members were murdered in the shooting, which began around 10 a.m. in the Covenant School in southwest Nashville, Green Hills neighborhood. Metropolitan Nashville Police Department spokesman Don Aaron told reporters the identified shooter. So here we go. And I don't think they're going to speak on this, but the identified shooter was a female and appeared to be in her teens, all right, or his teens, right? So catch the drift of what they talking about with this here person, how they identify, right? The responding officers were clearing the school's first floor when they heard shots fired from the second level. Aaron said a team of 5 officers immediately went to the gunfire and saw the shooter firing her weapon. 2 of the officers shot the suspect, killing him within 15 minutes of receiving the first emergency call about the incident, and the spokesman said. The shooter entered the school through a side door and began firing multiple shots as he transversed the second story. He was armed with 2 assault rifles and at least 1 handgun. Police and Nashville Police Department officials, parents of Covenant school students, directed parents to the Covenant school students and of the Covenant school students to a nearby staging area at Woodmont Baptist Church to be reunited with their children. It's funny they're going to use the word ritual, but it says founded in 2001, the Covenant School and the ministry of the Covenant Presbyterian Church, which is located in the same complex. The school serves children from preschool age through 6th grade and has more than 200 students and 40 staff members. The U.S. has had a dozen school shootings in the past year, leading to increased calls for restrictions on gun ownership, which is crazy that they would bring this here up and try to... No, we're not going to get into what they talking about with the guns and everything else like that, but like, bruh, you're trying to have restrictions on guns, and we talking about school shooters with kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can put all the laws you want to go and put on these kids and or on these guns. They don't affect kids, man. This is like saying, oh, we got all these kids to keep getting drunk in school or some shit like that and doing some crazy shit. You know, having DUIs. We need to have more regulations on alcohol. Like, you can't be 20. You got to be 21 about alcohol anyway. That putting more regulations is only stopping the adults from doing this shit. What adults you know is getting drunk and going to school? Unless they going to college or something like that. But what I'm saying is, like, if you talking about elementary school kids getting drunk, regulations on alcohol ain't gonna stop that shit, man, because they ain't supposed to have the shit no way, right? But anyway, not getting into that, you know, hey, we know there's something different going on behind this, something spiritual, right? It says the U.S. has had dozens of school shootings in the past year, leading to an increase of calls for new restrictions among gun ownership. The U.S. Congress last June passed the country's first major gun control legislation in nearly 3 decades. Momentum for the bill... Let me make sure we ain't gonna get trapped up in here. All right, we good. It says momentum for the bill was triggered by a school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, which killed 19 children and 2 teachers. All right. So, hey, this is not a new phenomenon. This has become normal here in America, man. All right. You know, you got the kids or the schools talking about putting metal detectors inside the schools. All right. Kids have to wear clear backpacks. They got to be padded down and everything else like that, man. They got, you know, back in my days when I was going to school, the biggest thing we had to go do was fire drills or something like that, fire alarm drills or something. When they pull a fire alarm, you got to go outside. Sometimes, you know, where I was living back before, tornado drills, right? But hey, this was the norm. Now they have these school shooting drills and things like that, man, because this has become the norm. This is Esau reverting back to his normal state. All right, you know, living by a sword, being a so-called sore loser. All right, being just a straight wicked, killing and demolishing any and everybody around him, man. Even these children, man. All right, he ain't got no love for them, man. And guess what? You know, they keep talking about how violent we are and the things we be talking to hate crimes and this and that, because the things that, you know, we speak about with these Edomites about, hey, how the Lord is going to destroy them, how the Lord is about to, we'll read it in the scriptures and things like that, but how the Lord is going to do all this. And we're not telling you what we're going to do to none of these damn Edomites, man. This is what the Lord is going to do to these damn Edomites. And as you see it, this is what's going on. All right, the Lord is taking these Edomites down left and right, man. All right, taking them straight up out of here, man. And we ain't got to do nothing about it, man. See, we not the ones that's going into these schools and just murking these little Edomite kids, man. These Edomites doing this shit, man. We ain't putting them up to it or none of that. There ain't no brainwashing. Oh, y'all done, how they would say, y'all got a cult and y'all done brainwashed. No. All we doing is reporting on the damn crime. You don't sit there and blame the weatherman because he finna tell you, hey, man, there's going to be a massive hurricane coming. the water's gonna come in, it's gonna flood the area, then your house get flooded and your grandma died in a flood. You don't go and blame the weatherman because he spoke about it before it happened. No, it was like, well, my grandma died in a flood caused by the hurricane. You can't go blame Channel 9 because, oh, well, they said it was a hurricane coming. They got a cult going on. They be speaking about this. They said this was, no, man. All right, so, hey, man, these people are just all up into their feelings over these scenarios. But, hey, man, this is what it is, man. All right, you've come to get your judgment, man. All the things that you've been doing, all the wickedness you've done unto all these other nations and Jake and everything else, because please believe this is what they was doing to Jake babies, man. All right, feeding them out to alligators for alligator bait, all right, and they were, just often Jake's, with these we call experiments they was doing on us from the Johnson & Johnson, these other, we're not going to speak on these things, the V word, right, pricking us, sticking us with these things, putting all kind of stuff into us, making our people sterile and all kind of things. Now look at what's going on with them, man. All right, you have these Edomites that have a 0% population growth rate now. All right, where they can't have children. They have all these different issues where ovarian cancer and this and that. They can't have children no more. They having all these children with, these ADD, ADHD, all these different things that they have going on. All these different things that they're being born with. All right, and then if they are being born normal or whatever, hey, now they're being brought up to go to school just for another little Edomite to gun them down, man. All right, so this is the estate of Babylon the Great, man. These Edomites is going crazy, man. All right, and they're cancer in the world. This is like having something that's just like you got that water hose where you turn it on and the pressure of the water is so hot at the end of that hose is starting to bounce around. Man, hey, look, you might get wet, but getting wet ain't the problem. That brass tip that's flying around might hit you in the face and knock you. You got to turn that water pressure down, man. This is just going bad. This is going to destroy everything around here, man. That's where these Edomites are spiraling out of control with right about now, man. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into some scriptures here. Matter of fact, let's start here in Matthew 24. Where's that other precept? There's another precept I wanted to grab. We'll grab this first, and then we'll grab that. Matthew 24, and wait a minute. I think it's 10 and 12. Yep, Matthew 24 and 10. Now, these are the signs of the end. When we will be coming to the end. It says, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another and hate one another. And like I was speaking on, man, these Edomites, we live in a time now with the snowflake thing where they all being offended. Oh, I'm offended by this. I'm offended by that. And I can't really speak on some of these things because, how they be trying to clip the video. But I was watching some videos about certain things, and I heard one woman tell a dude that I got to doctor this up. One woman was telling the dude that, he was being hateful and disrespectful to a certain community because he, in his mind, didn't find it that he wanted to sleep with a certain type of people, like shape-shifting people, put it that way, right? He's like, nah, I'm not with that. That's just not my cup of tea. Oh, I'm so offended. Even though I don't have no shape-shifting friends, I don't know nobody that's a shape-shifter, but I got to stand up for all this. How the hell you offended by some shit you don't even know about, man? All right, like, what the fuck you got going on? What dog do you got in this here fight, man? You really got your panties all up in a bunch for this here stuff, but look, people just offended by it. Oh, I'm offended by this, I'm offended. You don't even know why this would offend you, man. All right, some people are offended because some people are like, hey, look, you know what? I don't even like country music. I just like listening to rap music. Oh, how dare you say that's offensive and this and that. Like, bro, what are you talking about, man? All right, you over here tripping with this. Like, let me do me. If I don't like this, that's just what I don't like, man. All right, if I might not like Chinese food. That don't mean I'm racist or something. I just don't like Chinese food, man. There's certain types of food that I don't like, I do like, and you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But yet and still, these people are super overly offended by all kind of things nowadays, man. You can't have your own preference. Look at people with their YouTube channels, man. People will sit there and tell you, oh, I don't like this. They'll find your video offensive, all right, or they'll hate it. Back in the olden days, you would just turn the channel, man. All right, I'm for instance, I'm not really into a lot of sports and things like that, man. I don't really watch sports on TV. But I'm not finna sit over there and call ESPN and shit, be like, bro, I'm offended that y'all putting this here shit on TV. I don't like seeing this here shit. Nah, man, I just turn from it, man. There's certain, old Western movies and shit like that. I don't like watching that. But I don't sit over there and it gets to the point like, you know what, I got to call the station. Like, I don't want to see this, man. All right, somebody was showing me a video the other day about some dude wilding. And he was taking his dog and smashing it up against the wall, basically. As they were showing it to me, I was like, nah, bro, that's just wrong. I don't even want to see it. And I turned my head. I'm not just finna sit over there. Let me go and report. No, bro. But you have people that's nowadays being offended by all these things instead of, the olden ways of just turning things off. You have people like, before they would, like I said, turn you off. Then you got to a point to where they would, flag your videos and try to get you fired about certain things and report you or this and that. Now you have people taking things into their own hands, man. How many different occasions have you seen with these new snowflakes and things like that, killing folks in road rage, man? Somebody done cut them off. Now they on a phone with the police. There was a case of a woman on some dude cut her off in traffic. She got overly upset and started chasing the dude, right? And she called the police. Hey, this guy cut me off, blah, blah, blah. And he's driving reckless. He cut me off and everything. She's on the phone with the police. The police is like, stop following the dude. Leave the dude alone. That's all right, cool. Whatever. He cut you off. He broke the law, but just leave him alone. Don't chase him. Don't. She kept chasing him, kept chasing him, kept chasing him. Then she started cutting him off and sideswiping his car, hitting his car and everything else like that. Then she starts screaming as if she's the victim. All right. Then she wound up hitting his car wound up flipping, and he wound up dying. She was so much the victim that she became, you know what I'm saying, the oppressor, man. All right. She turned him into the victim, man. Yeah, he might have cut you off, but look, you're a small victim of being cut off. But then now you wound up killing a guy. So now he's dead. Right? But all because, and then your defense was, well, he cut me off. I had to chase him down. The police wasn't going to do anything about it. Well, what are you going to do about it? Keep chasing the man and just calling the police and crying about it? But this is where we are right now. So it says, and then many shall be offended. You know, going, hey, there's a lot of people out here offended by just little things. Even just you over here preaching your beliefs. How dare you believe in God? How dare you pray? Oh, they were speaking out there about that Tennessee shooting, and they were saying, we got together, we prayed about this. They was having backlash. It's not a time to be praying. I'm like, bro, this is not even speaking on what they believe in, because we know that they not in the truth anyway. But just in layman's terms, bro, this is a fucking Christian church, bro. This is how they deal with the shit that they deal with. Then let them deal with it like that. I mean, I don't believe in Islam or nothing like that. But if I see somebody at an Islamic church or an Islamic school and some shit like this happening, and they decide we're gonna go out there and pray about it, I'm like, all right, I'm not with the shit that they into, but I see where they coming from, man. You know what I'm saying? They're religious people, so they praying about the shit, man. What's wrong with you? All right, but hey, all these people being super offended. But now we to the level now where people are being offended to the point where they go and they get these Edomites, they go get their sword and they go and air the whole block out, man. All right, these demons are becoming in a full form right about now, man. All right, verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And I've spoke about this over the weekend about how the fact of the matter is, with the internet or like YouTube and these videos have come out. People doing things. People have taken things to a whole new level, man. A whole new level. They see somebody do one thing. Oh, I'm about to go and top that. Yeah, that I believe it was the one Jake who wound up body slamming that woman and she all paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things is just for views, clicks, and everything else like that. They wouldn't have done that back in the olden days, but now they over here YouTubing it and things like that, man. All right, all kind of wickedness that they out here doing, man. So you got these demons, or they cutting through traffic. People always been speeding and drag racing and stuff like that on the interstate, but you got these young boys out here cutting through traffic left and right, left and right. I seen a car accident the other day. They was doing that, man. All right, the car rolled over, hit the guardrail, rolled over, and killed all 6 of the construction workers. This might have been just yesterday, right? So all this for what? Some views and stuff like that, man. So now all this wickedness is going forth. Hey, this is starting to increase, man. All right, they didn't, they have a term, I forgot what it was called, but with these killers and stuff like that, where they over there live streaming, it's like a game-like form, putting up their so-called kill streak and things like that, man. Putting it into the minds of these people, man. But these are these Edomites. We talk about this as a whole. Really, it's just these Edomites reverting back to the pure demonic form that they're in, all right? So it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. They don't have a love for nobody. They go and kill their own parents. There was a story about that over the weekend. All right, what was it? The dude wound up killing his baby mama. All right, or another dude wound up killing his child while on the phone with his baby mama. Right, and then we can keep going on for days. You had another woman I think it was the same day as this, wound up killing her own kids, man. All right, so hey, man, these people out here is straight bugging out, man. It's just straight demons everywhere out here, man. All right, let's jump down to verse 20. Was it? Oh, actually, that's Isaiah 14 and 21. Let me get to it. Let me find it. I think it's Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14 and 21. Yep. Hey, but this is the point in time that we're coming into, right? So, matter of fact, let me grab another precept. Let me see if I can find this one first. Because we were reading a little earlier about how the curses are falling upon them, all right? And then just roughly paraphrasing, speaking on, the trials and tribulations they will have from the time they wake up to the time they go down, all right? I know this other precept is in Job. Let me see. All right, here we go. Verse 13. Yep. I could read this whole chapter, but I don't know if I want to. Let me start at verse 8. It says, "For what is the hope of the hypocrite, though he have gained, when God have taken away his soul? Will God hear his cry when the trouble cometh upon him?" All right, so you've seen all these Edomites praying for all these different things. Oh, God bless America, but God bless this and God bless that. Like, wait, what have y'all been doing, over these last, 100 years? We just put it at that. How have y'all been living, man? What have y'all been doing to our children and everything else like that, man? Like I said, with Johnson and Johnson, all right, the baby powder and things like that, man. All right, the things y'all been doing to us from the get-go, taking away the resources in our neighborhoods, creating an environment for gang activity to flourish, man. All right, you want to clean up the gangs in Chicago and California and all that stuff? Go put real jobs over there, man. Go right there in them gang banging neighborhoods where you got the Crips and the Bloods that hate each other. Crips and Crips that hate each other. GDs and BDs that hate each other. And open up a business that give them a lucrative income. I guarantee you'll have rival gang members, the biggest of biggest ops, sitting right next to each other getting to that money. You pay them a reasonable or good enough, salary. They're not worried about killing each other. They got something to live for now. All right, but you've taken away all the resources, like, in California, not getting too far off into it, but a lot of those people, you see those gangbangers and stuff that don't have no jobs their whole lives. How the hell y'all got y'all own crib and everything? And you go into the research about it, it's like, yeah, but they got this governmental program that they tell us to pay whatever we can pay or pay based off of our income. And so we don't get jobs, and we be like, bro, I can scrounge up $20. And so they take a percentage of their $20 they say that they can scrounge up, and this is how they're able to live. But like I said, go put resources in them neighborhoods and things like that. And then, because look at some of those quote unquote gangbangers that live that gangbanging lifestyle and become somewhat rich and famous. What do they wind up doing? They move from up out of that. Chief Keef ain't in Chicago no more. He got some money and went to California living. You don't even hear about him like that no more, doing no shit, man. All right, and all these bigger gang members and stuff like that, Snoop and all that, they're not living in like that because they got the resources to get the hell up out of there now, man. All right, but this is the conditions that Esau put into our neighborhoods. But now look at them. The same thing is going on with them. All the unemployment, parents ain't got jobs. The parents, it's like, the dad then lost his job. He come home and beat his wife. The wife get tired of the husband beating on him. She go and beat the kids. The kids get tired of getting beat. They go and kick the cat. You see what I'm saying? So this oppression rolls downhill like that, man. And this is what you're starting to see go on, man. As they're out here circling the drain. It says, will he delight himself in the Almighty? Will he always call upon the Most High? I will teach you by the hand of the Most High, that which is with the Almighty will I not conceal. Behold, all ye yourselves have seen it. Why then are ye thus altogether vain? This is the portion of the wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. You thought you was going to go altogether unpunished? It says, if his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and if his offspring shall, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. So, hey, they being multiplied for the sword, for destruction. Then also, hey, man, y'all growing up without these resources like y'all used to have before, man. You used to be born into generations of wealth. Now, again, you losing the parents and stuff are losing all these jobs. They're losing a lot of their wealth and everything else like that. So it's a whole different ball game now. It's a whole different scenario for these people nowadays, man. A lot of them are growing up in poverty, where a lot of Jakes is coming up out of that poverty line, man. They're growing up with better lives and everything versus, how these Edomites are growing up. Now you're hearing these stories about these Edomites growing up all kind of messed up lives, divorcee parents and everything else like that, man. The stories that Jake used to growing up to hear, I grew up without my daddy in the household, and, and my mama was on drugs and she was a drug addict. Now this is what's happening to these Edomite women and these Edomite men and these children that they're having, man. These curses are falling upon them, and guess what? We ain't had to do a damn thing about it, man. We don't have an oppressive system set up to take the resources from Esau. Hey, Esau's taking the resources out of Esau's mouth, man. They the ones laying them off at Amazon and at Microsoft. We not in control of none of that, man. But now these things is happening unto them. All right. It says, if his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and if his offspring shall be and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. So, hey, the money that they getting is not enough to even suffice them. All right. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. All right, so, hey, if they're not taken down by the sword, by their own hands of their own people, all right, hey, they're going to get taken off over in the war. They're going to get chopped down over there. We can read about that as well, too. The women, the brides not having any bridegrooms, because they're going to all wind up dying in war. All right, or, hey, we're coming to the point now where, pretty much they having so much death. All right, it's not even becoming sad to them like that no more, man. They're becoming numb to it, man. Just like how Jake was, man. Every week we going to a funeral. Every week one of our homies is dying. We always got these RP t-shirts and everything. Man, we have so many just think about that, man. Jake used to have so many damn people dying around them. They even forgot who died. Ray Ray. You going to Ray Ray funeral? Nah, Ray Ray just died today. He ain't getting buried till 3 days from now or whatever. We going to Jimbo's funeral, and then we got a little Keita funeral the day after, and then Big Jerome's the day after that. You know what I'm saying? But now look at this with the Edomites and stuff. You can't even remember what was the last school shooting, man. Or the last mass shooting and everything else like that. Because there's so many of them that's happening right about now, man. All right, so, hey, they putting all they little kids on RP t-shirts as well, too, man. All right, remember little Caden. All right. It says, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and the widow shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as dust and prepare raiment as the clay. You know, they have all this here money that was stacked up, but guess what? They're spending a lot of money on this, psychological help. All right, you know, it's a lot of them are ending in divorces. They're losing a lot of their businesses and things like that, man. Are you seeing a lot of these Edomites go from their rise to fame, all right, to being back broke again, man? All right, all in one lifetime, man. All right, it says he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide his silver. So a lot of this stuff is now, he's building up, you seen all these nations hoarding up all this gold in these last times. Hey, that's for Jake, man. All right, they're putting all this stuff together, but guess what? Jake is wound up inheriting these things, man. A lot of their businesses and things like that are coming over to Jake, man. All right, it says he built his house as a moth and as a boot that the keeper maketh. The rich man shall lie down, but he shall not be gathered. He opened his eyes, and he is not. Terror shall take hold on him as waters, and the tempest stilleth him away in the night. The east wind carrieth him away, and departed as a storm hurleth him out of his place. It says, for the Most High shall cast upon him, and shall not spare. He shall flee from out of his hand. Man shall clap their hands at him, and shall hiss at him out of his place. And that's where we at right now, where everybody's tired of seeing these Edomites, tired of hearing about their stories, their sad stories. We're getting to a point now where all these school shootings and that, they're like, look, we ain't worried about Al-Qaeda and what the other people call ISIS and them. The biggest terrorist is little Timmy and them, going to school and shit like that, man. You got to worry about these little Edomites at school and stuff like that. You see some of these YouTube videos where Jake be making fun of them, like you got that one quiet kid in the class, then they over here picking on him, and then all of a sudden he, sitting at the desk with his head down, all of a sudden he pick his head up. Everybody all of a sudden be like, oh shit, bro, it's time to go. Time to go. The little quiet kid got up and started moving. Now all of a sudden we know what's coming next, man. He about to go reach in his backpack, and he about to start laying everybody down out here, man. All right, this is now becoming the norm for these Edomite kids, man. Becoming straight killers and shooters out here, man. All right, so let's go back from there to Isaiah 14 now and 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. All right. It says, for I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant, the son and the nephew, saith Yahweh. So, hey, his lineage is being cut off, man. All right. And guess who he's using to do all these things, man? The Edomites, to kill the Edomites off, man. We ain't did nothing to these folks, man. You ain't heard about no mass shootings of Jake going around just putting down Edomites. They love to push that narrative about how we doing all these things to them. But look, who's really putting, how they say, putting numbers up on the board? Is it Jake really putting numbers up on the board, taking Edomites out? Or is it Edomites putting numbers up on the board, killing Edomites and taking them out, man? So the Edomites are taking their own selves out, and especially when World War III come around, it's just Edomite on Edomites at that point. All right? Where's that? Right here. Matter of fact, let's go back to that. Isaiah 19 and 2. And I will set Egyptian against Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And these is dealing with these Edomites, man. All right, we not talking about Jake over here putting their hands on Esau right now. These are all Edomites, man. All right, killing off Edomites, man. So, that narrative of, y'all hate group, and this is what y'all talking about doing and everything. Nah, man, look. This is what y'all doing to yourselves, man. We just calling that out, man. All right, just like how they used to say to us, y'all sold yourselves into slavery. Y'all the ones destroy y'all own neighborhoods. Y'all the ones be killing y'all own selves in the gang banging and the drug dealing. Y'all did that to y'all own self. Now the tables are now being turned, man. Esau's doing these things to his own self, man. He's become the mass reprobate of the earth, man. All right, and we're seeing all these things. All right, I was going to read another precept or two, but nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and close out. Lord will and the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakudash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us this truth never will. And citation and much love for you, I can pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.